Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and just wanted to ask a question that might get not talked about too often, but it's really rather interesting. Why do women shave? It's something we don't really think of. It's something that seems to be normal, okay? Now, there's a couple of interesting things about shaving. Now, in ancient cultures, go back to the ancient Egyptians, shaving was a normal thing. They would shave their bodies. Men and women, the priests would be totally shaved. The kings, the pharaohs, would not be shaved. Tutankhamun's a real issue because no one can quite figure that one out, why he's bald. Maybe he was just bald. But women never shaved years ago. And throughout much of the culture, let's say of Europe, shaving was not a major factor in the idea of women. Men shaved their faces, perhaps, but women did not shave their legs. They did not shave under their arms. They didn't shave anywhere. And so you had some pretty hairy women and some pretty hairy men years ago. But that was normal. That was the way things were. If you look at the poses of some of the girls in the pictures, that were kind of enticing men, like centerfolds of the 1880s and 1890s, you will notice that they're wearing leotards. And very rarely do they have their arms up, because if you notice, they're very hairy underneath the arms because they didn't shave. All of this was going to change, and there was a reason for it. It was not photography. Photography is around from the 1840s onward. It was motion pictures. And one picture really comes to mind that had a profound effect, and that was D.W. Griffith's Intolerance, in which you had scantily clad young ladies walking around with their arms up, and they were shaved. Their legs were shaved. It had a profound effect. Right around the same time, advertising started showing women wearing whatever it may be, but being totally shaved. In fact, by the 1920s, it became more of a standard operating procedure for ladies to shave. Today, if you saw a woman walk out that had really hairy legs or hairy underarms and whatever, and she went to the beach, she would probably get some attention. Of course, in today's age, there is no normal. Everybody's different, and that's cool. And that's one of the nice things about today's age, is the fact that you can be whatever you want. And it's fine. But it is an interesting fact, because we don't think about it, that why women shave. And it has to do with the technology that came about in the beginning of the 20th century. Motion pictures. And, of course, the other thing that became a major part is advertising. If you take a look, just for the record, take a look at photographs of the 1890s, look at pin-up girls from the 1890s, you will notice that they're dressed very different. They're usually wearing leotards. And they're usually very rarely showing under the arms. And if they do, you will see that they're not shaved. Take a look at the girlies of the 1920s. It's a totally different creature. They're shaved. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever wondered why shaving became a major part of fashion, of style, it had to do with motion pictures and secondarily advertising. And in a sense, if you think about it, 100 years later, since Intolerance came out in 1916, it is 2016 now. And we can honestly say that motion pictures and advertising have the same profound effect on us as they did 100 years ago. Interesting to ponder and interesting to think of.